watching Storyboard. Last week, the Advertising Standards Council of India laid down a new set of guidelines for the private education sector. From December, schools, colleges, vocational institutions and even coaching classes will have to ensure that their ads are not misleading and that they don't make unsubstantiated claims. This sector is one of the big spenders in the country, and ad volumes have grown by 51% in the first half of 2010 compared to 2009. Shweta Shriram and Animesh Das report on how the sector is reacting to the new guidelines.
The next time an ad promises you a sure-shot placement or a fast track to a successful career, it stands the risk of being pulled up by the Advertising Standards Council of India. The industry body has laid down parameters which say that an institution or course or program can't claim to be official, recognized, authorized, accredited, approved, registered or affiliated unless the advertiser is able to substantiate it with evidence. Ads should not lead the public to believe that enrollment will provide the student a temporary or permanent job, admissions to institutions, job promotions, salary increase, etc. unless there's substantiation. Ads stating competitive ranking of the institution or its program have to provide the full name and date of the publication or medium which released the rankings. Visuals of infrastructure of the institution showed in the ad should all be real and existing at the time of the ad's release. The ASCI has been at work since April on these new guidelines. They are a direct result of the increase in complaints by consumers and from competing educational institutions. By tightening the ropes, the ASCI hopes the large number of students and parents who invest in a good education and future will be given a better deal.
See, if an institution is resorting to a misleading advertisement, number of students, number of parents end up incurring a huge amount of cost, and they don't get the returns what they are supposed to get. Then some of the people, students or even parents who cannot afford those kinds of fees, they resort to taking loans, they mortgage their properties, sell their farms and still raise the money to pay for the education. And if they don't get their money's worth, obviously they don't get a fair deal. That's where the ASCI's guidelines will help in curbing such unfair practices.
As of April this year, the annual ad spend of the education sector is in the region of 3,700 crore rupees. Both advertisers and industry watchers say the new guidelines will have no impact on ad volumes. That's because as the competition in this sector has increased tremendously in the past 5 years, so has the need to market aggressively. However, many advertisers also say that the new rules will have no impact on their approach to advertising. For example, Career Launcher, which spends 1/3 of its marketing and promotional budget on TV and print advertising, has been pulled up by the ASCI twice over the past year for misleading claims. And even while this training institute accepts a mistake, the company has its reservations about the ASCI's approach to dealing with complaints.
As a responsible corporate, I would love to kind of support any initiative such as this by ASCI. I think at the other end also the governance issues have to become far more transparent. If I need to know why was I pulled up and what is behind it, or when a complaint is lodged by even by some a certain part of our business, and a response comes, so the transparency needs to go up a lot more.
Some institutes like Amity University, which admits around 10,000 students every year, relies on its advertising to promote its niche courses like nanotechnology and forensic sciences. And even though the university claims to have been waiting for such a code in order to prevent misleading advertising from others in the business, the new rules, they say, will not place any restrictions.
Within Amity, we have our internal guidelines when it comes to advertising and promotion, which when I go through are at a far stricter and higher level than what the ASCI guidelines are. So we have actually, whatever has been written in the guidelines, we are following all the aspects. And I think these guidelines will also evolve as time goes along.
Unfortunately for the ASCI, a very small number, less than 20 educational institutes are actually members. Also, the sector spends largely on the print medium, where the ASCI doesn't have the power to enforce its decisions. So what the ASCI needs is more membership, more power and more bite, if it wants its efforts to have a real impact on the thousands of students finding their way to a better education every day.
time for a commercial break, but ahead on the show, will display advertising spearhead India's online marketing spends? We'll tell you when we come back.